Hello friends, welcome to Tutorial S, and in this video series you are learning Flask tutorial, and in this series we are going to discuss about Flask form data. If you see this tutorial, if you see this illustration, then you can see user here user will submit the form. User will submit the form. Then and this will be an HTML file, say add marksheet.html, and after this we will create a file called form.py or Python file which will process this form. Suppose there is first name, last name, email address, etc, etc. So once user will submit this form, then it will be handled by Python file where we will be using post method, and this post method I have already discussed in previous video, that what are different HTTP methods in Flask. So we will be using this method post, and finally the output will show in show result.html. So maybe we can use different HTML here, but the process is same. User will input the data will be handled by Python file, and after that, after handling, this output will be shown in different page. Remember, in this case we are not going to use MySQL or SQLite database. In further videos we will be using that, but in this video we will not use database. This will be a simple form to understand how form you can create and how the form is handled through, and how the form is handled by Flask and Python. So let's do the practical thing. Before proceeding with this video, I would recommend you to check this video, this one, Flask templates, because unless you know how this template you can create template, then you won't be able to understand. So in case you have missed this video, then I recommend you to first check this video. If you have already checked, then you should now go for this video. So I'm opening this pie chart. So first what we will do, let's create here, uh, we will be creating here registration form. Okay, simple registration form. Right click on this and then create a new form. We will create this Python file, so we will name it register.py, and here from Flask import Flask, and then app equals to Flask, and here name, and after this we will create route. So app dot route, and here let's write here add or add user, add user, and then definition add user, then return render template, render template, and yes, we need to call here render template. So let's create HTML file called add user.html. We will create this HTML file and put this inside. So what is the error? Def expected. Oh, we need to write here def for definition. Okay, and then if name main, then app dot run. Right, now we can run this application, though we will get the error saying that add user file does not exist. So we may expect this error. Okay, it will not show anything because so add user, it will say internal server error. It will say that the template does not exist. Add user, it says add user template does not exist. So first let's go to add user. So now we need to go to template file, these templates, then right click on this and create a new file, HTML file. We will call it add underscore user.html. We will delete this because we will extend the base template from this one. So in case you have missed the previous video, then you should watch its previous video, then you will understand that how I have created this base file. So what we will do, we will extend here. So let's write here percentage extends, then uh, base dot html here, and then let's extend title also. So once again, percentage block title percentage, and then let's close here and block. After this, block content, then percentage, sorry, block content, and here once again and block. That's it. And inside here form, we will add a form here. Okay, so form method post action will be add user. Okay, after this let's do one thing. Div row bootstrap class row, then div class call md4, then first name input type text, name equal to first name. Okay, so now let's test and see the output. Then we will add more elements of the form. Now let's go to here register and click on this. So it says 404. Yes, because add user. Yes, so now it's working perfectly, and as you can see, this navigation part is coming from base.html. So first name, last name, and here I will provide class also for this add user, bootstrap class form control. Yes, now let's copy paste first name, last name, email, password, and yeah, then here submit button. Input type submit name, submit, and then class btn success. In here value add user. Okay, so now let's see, and this one will be, let's start from here, first name, then last name. Here will be last name, then email, then email, in here also email, and here password, name, password, and then input type password. So okay, let's now run the application again and see the output. Let's go and refresh the page, and yes, you can see this is first name, last name, email, and password. So if we type here something, say gmail.com, then password 123. If we click here add user, then it will not work for the time being. So now we will create function here for handling the data. So @app.route, then submit user. Then let's create one definition, def submit user. Then here, and yes, one more thing here, we need to write here methods equals to square bracket post and then get. That means we may use two either post or get, and here will be one comma. Right, now here we will see right if method equal to request.submit. Here we will write if request.method equals to post, then result equals to request dot form. That means whatever, and yes, now we need to call here request as well, so that the error is gone. And finally return render template so user.html. We will create this file later, and then result equals to result. That means this result will be passed to this show user file, which we will display later. Okay, now let's create this file, show user.html. So let's go to add marksheet. Just let's copy, not this one, add user, just copy this and then create a new file. Okay, so just we need to delete this section here, and everything will be same. So div, then let's create another div, class row, div class call md6. Let's run here loop. So it will be for key value in result dot items. That means we are running here for loop, and then end for here, and for, and here we will display key. Remember, we are not inserting the data here into database, just displaying. So for beginners this is enough to understand. Then in further video I will show you how to insert the data through the form also. Alright, so now let's run the application once again and refresh it. Internal server error. What is the error? Console. Run the application once again, because we ran into refresh, getting error. Okay, so it says there is problem in result. So let's see in the code. So problem is somewhere show user. So user, where is this file? Here, not so much. So user. Oh, made mistake here. We just made modification in this file only. Let's just, I just copied it. Actually this will be in show user. Okay, so now let's create another file, HTML file. The name will be show user.html. email. And here let's paste that one, show user. Okay, so it will show in show user. Actually we should have created this show user here. This is add user, means the form will be and it will be processed here, and ultimately the result will be shown here. So now let's run, then add user, method not allowed. So there is something wrong. Okay, so we have written here submit user, right? So same submit user we need to provide here as well, submit user, because this is form action. Now still saying method not allowed. Okay, we need to refresh the page actually once. Now it's working, and you can see first name, last name, email, password, submit, add user. So there are three steps. This is step number one, where we have added the form, and this is first step, add user. That means first it will show the form, it is displaying the form. After this, when user submits the form, then it will be processed by, so this is submit user. Then first it checks method, which means the method request form, it takes the data, and then finally the result is shown here, and we are passing this data here, and finally with this one we are fetching in this show user. So if you go to show user, then you can see we have just applied a for each for loop and displaying key value. So that's it in this video. In the next video I will show you how to add to database, but before that we will see few more things like session and cookies, etc. So thank you for watching, and still if you have not subscribed my channel, then I recommend you to please subscribe the channel. Thank you. Bye bye.